Hi, my name's Sloan Stevens. I'm a second year student here at UF, double majoring in music performance and international studies with focus in Europe, and I'm directing La Resistance 1941. My main involvement at UF is through Model United Nations. I'm directing crisis committees this year, both at Flix and at Gatorbaum, which is the conference we put on for high schoolers. I also play French horn here at UF in various ensembles throughout the university, like the Horn Studio and the Symphonic Band and the orchestra. I seem to be known for my laugh. And I also am a master pancake chef. You should have my pancakes sometime. My committee is centered around the French resistance movement during World War II. In early 1940, Nazi Germany invaded France with blistering success and took over Paris within 6 weeks, and the entire country fell under Nazi occupation and through a puppet government. And the job of the committee will be to organize the resistance against the Axis powers, rally the French people to liberate their country, and work together to create a new France after the war, which can be whatever the delegates want to make it to be. I have always enjoyed the history of World War II, both from the American standpoint and from the standpoint of other countries. And I think the French experience during World War II is something that's not really talked about a lot. What the French resistance went through to achieve what they did and how valuable they were to the Allied war effort. And I think it sets up really well for a crisis committee because there's so many different groups within the French resistance. It creates a lot of inner conflict as well as conflict with the rest of the world. And I think we'll be able to do a lot of cool stuff with this topic. Well, it is a historical committee by nature, so it has that going for it. But like I said earlier, the French resistance added so much value to the Allied war effort that I think not a lot of people realize that. Especially Americans. I think we take the French resistance for granted a little bit of how much they made things like D-Day and victory in Europe possible. And so I think in that sense, we're seeing through this committee how the French resistance helped to create the post-World War II order, and also how it created the French government up from ruins after World War II again, and that'll be something that we tackle in the committee as well. I want them to find new creative solutions as to how to resist their occupying forces. I don't want this committee to go exactly the way history did. I want there to be new, surprising things that happen, some from us, some from the delegates, and I think that'll be an interesting spin. And I also want them to keep in mind, what is and what isn't possible in a society that is occupied by one of the strongest militaries on earth. And so I want delegates to keep that in mind when they're planning for committee. What the delegates should focus on in the beginning, this is my first crisis clue, is that at the beginning of the resistance committee, which will be starting on January 1st, 1941, they're not very powerful. They don't have a lot of people. They don't have a lot of resources. And before they take any significant action, that's what they should focus on, is trying to strengthen themselves.